Hello movie fans and welcome to Lost in the Reel. Today I'm going to be covering Hulu's new horror flick, Grimcutty. Is this just another knockoff of the already terrible Slenderman? Or is there more to this film than meets the eye? Let's talk about it. Grimcutty is written and directed by John Ross. It stars Sarah Wolfkind, Usman Ali, Callan Ferris, and Shannon Sossamon. In this modern creature feature, a scary internet meme called Grimcutty stirs up panic amongst all the parents in town, convinced it's making their kids harm themselves and others. When a real-life version of Grimcutty starts attacking teen Asha Chowdhury, her parents believe that she's cutting herself as part of a challenge. With her phone taken away and no one who believes her, Asha has to figure out how to get through to her parents and stop the Grimcutty once and for all. Hulu has been dropping some outstanding original films straight to their platform as of late. From Sundance favorites Fresh and Good Luck to You, Leo Grand, to franchise re-energizers like Prey and Hellraiser. These are movies that I count as some of the very best of the year. But then a few have snuck in through the cracks that I would consider to be some of the worst of the year, like the Joey King-led medieval action film The Princess and the erotic thriller Deep Water. Yet, Hulu's new wannabe scary movie Grimcutty is their most bewildering misfire of the year, without a doubt. It's no wonder they are dropping this on their platform on a Monday, because I'm sure the Hulu execs are trying to find a way to make this project disappear as quickly as possible. I kept asking myself throughout the entire runtime, how in the hell did anyone greenlight this project? And did no one think to stop the director John Ross right in his tracks and tell him, we gotta redesign this Grimcutty or this whole thing isn't gonna work? As the tagline suggests, this movie wants to be a creepy creature feature, but the film fails if the creature looks ridiculous. And this is what has happened here. The poster does an admirable job of making this thing look way scarier than it actually looks in the finished product. And has no one taught the director one of the cardinal rules of horror? That what is left to the imagination is way more terrifying than anything that can possibly be shown up on the screen. Unfortunately, our director never received that memo, and he decides to reveal his creature right at the very start. Rather than building up the tension by slowly unveiling aspects of the Grimcutty, Ross plops his mess of CGI and practical effects in all of its glory, or lack thereof, right before our eyes immediately. So any sort of hope for suspense or scares he could have milked from his project are instantly lost. Besides the unfortunate creature design, Ross's film has a whole slew of other issues that are plaguing it. There's the laughable dialogue with one-liners like, "The detox box, bitch," and "Alright, you bastard, come get some," that are dropped throughout the entire movie. I cannot count how many times I rolled my eyes after a silly line of dialogue came out of one of the actors' mouths. It honestly could be a drinking game. And speaking of acting, it's pretty painful to watch, with the two lead parents in the movie performing on two completely different playing fields. Usman Ali as Asha's father is so over the top and cheesy, while Shannon Sossamon as her mother looks altogether bored and tuned out for the entire film. And while I do see promise in our young lead, Sarah Wolfkind, the script does her no favors. There were moments I could see her fighting to deliver a solid performance, but then the character would do or say something idiotic and her efforts were dashed. I do have to say that the only moments in the film that are truly frightening are when Wolfkind is doing ASMR, but I don't think that was intentional. And finally, there's the mystery, where our characters do investigative work online to try and find the origin of the Grimcutty to stop it once and for all. And when I say that this mystery continuously gets more and more incredulous as it goes along, that would be an understatement. It leads our heroine to a ditch day party where kids are drinking frozen margaritas and live streaming with knives in a house with the Grimcutty projected on the outside. And then to a mommy blogger with a shotgun and a child locked in a closet. And it is all wrapped up in some kind of half-baked message about parents needing to stop overreacting about kids' screen time and kids needing to communicate with their parents more about what they're doing online. It is all just so misguided. And I understand what the filmmaker wanted to accomplish here. It's very apparent that he was inspired by the Momo challenge from a couple of years back, where parents were convinced a viral image was making their kids try to harm themselves. It is a fascinating premise to jump off of. How urban legends have evolved from mere stories around a campfire into super spreader creepypastas through the internet. But John Ross has taken that intriguing foundation of a story and hits his audience over the head by trying to be overly preachy with it. And it doesn't help that the film aims to connect with younger audiences by being modern and trendy, yet those attempts feel painfully uncomfortable and inauthentic. You know, I kept going back and forth on whether I wanted to review this movie or not, because I do hate just ripping into a film like this. I always try to find the silver lining somewhere, because you have to respect the hard work that goes into the making of any project. But I decided to go ahead and just do the review to spread the word that this is not worth your time. If anything, Grimcutty is so unintentionally hilarious that it rivals the absurdity of the Wicker Man remake. And maybe it could possibly be enjoyed on those merits, but at least that movie had Nicolas Cage going for it. So I will be giving Grimcutty 1 cracked cell phone out of 5. This is one of the lamest films of the year. Grimcutty attempts to be hip, timely, and terrifying, but instead, it's just utterly ridiculous and eye-roll inducing. Do yourself a favor and watch literally anything other than this on Hulu. Thank you so much for watching Lost in the Reel. What are your thoughts on Grimcutty? Do you think I was too hard on it, or do you think it's one of the worst of the year, like me? Sound off in the comment section down below. And until next time, my friends, take care.